What is good, guys? Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel. So on today's video, guys, I'll be analyzing for you the dollar index, gold, US30 US100, AUDUSD, and USDCAD. So if you appreciate this kind of content, please do make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell just in case I drop. You can always get notified. So in front of us we have the dollar index, and on this market I am currently bearish, and the reason for this is because, as you can see, the market is trending below this particular structural zone here, which was an area of significance for a very long time in the past. As you can see here, the market was selling from here, and then the market broke above. When the market was above the structure, it kept on buying for like 2 years, 3 years. The market couldn't break the structure over there. I believe that this market has room to continue selling, at least until this low over here, but it doesn't mean the market is going to do that. That is just something that I personally think is going to happen. And the second reason why I'm bearish is because, as you can see, we did have a bullish trend over here. As you can see, first touch over there, second touch, and this was a fake out, and then when the market was above again, it bought, and then again here it bought. So this for me was a bullish channel. As you can see, the market was buying and selling in between this channel over here, and now at the moment the market is broken. So the way you can trade this market for the week that is coming next week is you need to go to a smaller time frame for this one. I'm just going to go straight to the daily time frame, and what you do over there, you want to identify areas of interest where you could potentially sell this market from. So as I look at this, my next interesting structure where I could sell this market is this particular last low that was created over here. So as you can see, the market was selling and then created the structure over here and then broke that structure. We haven't really went back to retest that structure. So with this move that is currently happening, I believe the market is just coming back over there, retest that area as a resistance now, and then from there we can see the market selling from there. However, there is another possibility that the market could just sell exactly where we are, because if you go to your left, you can see that there is another structural zone over here which has a support. So this again could act as an area of resistance, because as you can see, the market broke below here, it came and retested this particular area as a resistance, and then it sold from there. And then now it seems like the market again could want to respect that structure based off of this candlestick that we had over here, and how this current week candlestick has closed bearish just below that area of resistance. So pretty much that is all I see on this market. I am bearish long term. I don't see any reasons to buy this market as of yet. Even though the market could go up until this area, I will not be looking for buys. I am only interested to sell this market. I will wait for the market to push higher, and then from here I start to look for sells, or I wait for the market to push lower, break this support, and then from there turn it into newly formed resistance, and then I look for sells. Moving on to gold. On gold, let's see what's happening over there. Let's go on the higher time frame. So on gold, I am bullish. Obviously, as you can see, the market is bullish also. The market is just going up. I don't need to explain this one. It's just pretty much out there. The market is in a bullish run, as you can see over there. So it doesn't really make sense for you to anticipate or predict that the market is going to sell. Just go with the trend for now. So the way you can treat this market is you need to go to a smaller time frame, go into the daily time frame for this one. So as you can see, though we are bullish long term on this market, it does seem like the market is coming back to this area of support over here. Obviously, it makes sense. Why? Because if you can see the market, the way that it moves, usually it's an impulse correction, and then an impulse, and then a correction. So this was an impulse, and then again this is a correction to then give us another impulse to the upside to create new higher highs. The way you can do it is you can go to a smaller time frame, like the 1 hour time frame. So over here, what I can see is that we did have an area of support over here, right? First touch, second touch, third touch, fourth touch, and a fifth touch. So anytime the market got there, it bought. So then the market sold from there, and then it gave a retracement back to this area here, testing it as a newly formed resistance, and now the market is selling from there. So my expectation is that this market is going to keep on selling to create new lower lows, and hopefully again get back there, then start to create a double bottom from here, which can then start to give us opportunities to the buy side. Not that it's going to happen like that, but I believe that's what's going to happen on this market. So the way you can approach the market next week is because I notice here we do have an area of trend line. We did have a trend line over here. So I think the market next week could want to behave in this manner, come back to this structure over here. The market could just want to come back to this structure over here to just test this area over here and start selling from there back to this support. Pretty much that's it. That is all I see on this market. There's nothing more, there's nothing less. Moving on to US30. US30, I'm still bullish on this market, going to the higher time frame. The reason for this is because, as you can tell, this market is in a bullish trend, right? You can see that this market gave us an impulse, gave us a correction, then an impulse, and then a correction back to this area of support over here to come and test it, because in the past it was a resistance, as you can tell. Then the market broke, came back for retracement, and now the market is pushing up. I do believe that this, now that the market has given us this retracement which we are anticipating, this could also be a possibility that the market now is going up to create new higher highs. It's a possibility, so I'm looking forward to that. So I'm bullish on this market because of that. However, as you go to a smaller time frame like the daily time frame, we are at an area of significance, or at least we are approaching an area which the market was selling and buying from in the past. So it's important that though we are looking for buyers, we pay attention to how the market behaves around the structure. So as you can see in the past, the market here reacted as treated this area over here as an area of resistance because it sold from there, and then when the market broke above, it started to buy from that structure over there a couple of times. And so now, because the market is coming back to that structure over there, it's very important for us not to just expect the market to break. There is a high chance that this market from here, it could want to retrace back to this support over here, and then from here we can start to see the market going up. So these are my two areas of interest to buy from next week. I have this low over here and this high over here. If the market could open and break above, then I will expect a retracement, and then this would be a good area for me to buy. Or if the market doesn't really break, instead it comes back down, this another could be a good area for me to expect a retracement and then opportunity to the upside. That is all I see on this market. Moving on to US100. Coming into the US100 on the higher time frame, you can see that we have similar structure to that of US30. So the impulse correction, impulse, and this to me seemed as a correction, and so now I'm expecting another impulse to the upside. So because of this, I am bullish on this market. Now the way you can trade this market also is you need to go to a smaller time frame. For this one, again, I'll just go straight to the daily time frame, and over there again, you want to identify areas of interest where you could potentially buy from. So looking at this market on the daily time frame, I do see that we just moved away from an area of significance. So as you can see, this was a support in the past, became a resistance, and then again this last week it became a support. So I do believe because the market is approaching an area, a trend line, and also a zone over here, we do have a high over here. So again, I believe that the market from here, it could want to sell just to give us that retracement to this support over here, and then from here I can start to look for buyers. And if the market does not give us that retracement, instead it just breaks this area of significance over here, just breaks above, then I'll expect or anticipate a retracement, and then from there I'll start to look for buyers because the market would have reclaimed rather this area of support and also this trend line. So it would make sense for me to then start to look for buys. Going to AUDUSD, I'm also bullish on this market going into the higher time frame. So on the higher time frame, you can see that we come from an area of support. This was a very strong area of support in the past, as you can see. First touch over the second touch, third touch, a fourth touch, and then we did try to get a breakout over here. As you saw, for a couple of months, the market was trending below this area of support over here. However, it could not treat it as a resistance to then find enough momentum to sell, and then the market now last month just went traded back up into that range and then closed above off of that support. So from here I do expect the market to continue buying at least to that resistance, and that is just what I see possible for this particular instrument. So the way you can trade this market for the week that is coming, again, to the smaller time frame, and over there identify areas of interest. So already on this particular trade, rather on this market, I took a trade on Friday on NFP, and then I bought this market. The thing was, I thought NFP was gonna come and then just push price even higher and higher. However, I saw a retracement and then I ended up closing my trade. So the way that the market is moving at the moment, there is a very high chance that we could see the market coming back inside of this range. It's just going to depend. So what I can say to you is just study how price moves around this area over here. If the market comes back inside of this range, just treat it as a range and sell from the high and buy from the low. However, if the market is still above this range over here, then of course we'll just start to buy this market to the upside. So for the week that is coming, on the daily, on the 1 hour time frame, this is how my setup is looking like. I'm going to be looking, so now I will no longer be paying attention to this area of support over here. Rather, I will pay attention to this one over here. So I will study how price is going to move as soon as it opens. I do expect it to sell maybe back to this support over here. I do expect this market to come back because, as you can see, this was a resistance, then the market broke, came, started during NFP. However, it was not so convincing. So I think there is a high probability of the market to come back inside of this particular support over here, and then from there I can start to look for buyers. Pretty much that is all I see on this market. Moving on to USDCAD, and I'm closing with this one. USDCAD, this one again, I don't have a bias for the week that is coming, just simply because of how it moved last week. But long term, I am bearish on this market. The reason for that is because the market has reclaimed this area of support is now a newly formed resistance. So as you can see in the past, this market was a very strong area of resistance. Anytime the market reached that high, it sold, and then it sold again, and then again over here the market sold. And so when the market broke out, I was expecting a retracement and then a continuation up. However, with that candlestick, as you saw, the market ended up coming back inside, closing significantly inside of that zone over there. So because of that, I am bearish on this market. And also, yes, we might have this as a bullish trend that we see over here. I'm not really paying much attention on it because I feel like it's not as significant as these highs over here. So now the way that I can trade this market for the week that is coming is going to the smaller time frame, the daily time frame like that. So on the daily time frame, you will see that the market again is in a very strong area of significance. Rather, let me go to the weekly time frame. We are in a very strong area of significance over here. So you can see that the market has been creating highs over here, and anytime the market reaches that high, it sold a couple of times, right? And when the market was above, it bought. So this is a very strong area of support and resistance. Hence, we are having this so much indecision over there, because if the market is going to break, then it will mean the market is bearish long term. And if the market could end up keep giving us a bullish candlestick to the upside, then it could potentially mean the market is now now preparing to go up, and so we should start looking for buys. So for me at the moment, I don't like the way that the market, these candlesticks that are forming over here, I don't like how it's moving, so I'll be staying away from this market. So it's up to you if you stay away or you trade, but personally for me, I will not be trading this market. But long term, I'm bearish. So yeah, man, I think that's all I have for the week that is coming on these instruments. If you found this video valuable, please do give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. With that being said, guys, I love you. Thank you for watching up to this far if you are. And yeah, man, I'll see you next week, same time, same place, hopefully. And yeah, I'm out.